standing in front of the newest addition to our farm. We now have 3 pigs. We had a friend that I guess saw an ad on Craigslist or something like that, and got some pigs, and then called us to see if we wanted a few. And we were always planning on getting pigs. My husband wanted pasture pigs. This opportunity kind of just showed up, so we have taken on 3 pigs. I think they're super cute. They are going to be eventually about 200 pounds each, so I will be surprised if I think they're cute at that point. But anyway, we got them set up in a temporary space. They're going to be moving around our farmland and kind of eating as they go, and then we'll kind of have a mobile pen for them. So we'll be, going to be in one space, we'll move it to another space, etc., etc. So we're going to clear up some, land that we need to mow, I guess. So, anyway, that's going to be happening. We're not there yet. Anyway, we had a little pig drama. Our girls who love to get into everything they can possibly get into, I think they were feeding the pigs or something the day after we brought them home, and of course they let the pigs out. And of course it was an accident, but they let the pigs out. And so we ended up going to get a humane trap, and we put food in there, and then we got 1 pig in there, and we put that pig back in the pen, and then we put more food in the trap. And of course, apparently pigs are very smart, they're very fast, and they're very strong. So the other pigs were not remotely interested in that trap, even though there was yummy food in there. They just kind of ignored it. So then we had the interesting experience of having 1 pig in the pen, and then seeing the other little pig friends come and check on the pig frequently. Like every, I don't know, like half hour or something. They would come check on the pig, and then they would leave. And so we were kind of frustrated about that because we wanted to get them. They were right there. It was interesting because the pig that was in the pen would definitely sound a bit different. Kind of wanting her friends, I don't know if it's an answer or her, to kind of come and check her out. So she had like this unique sound, and then the other pigs would come visit, and then that sound would change. Like, hey, how you doing? It was a whole thing. So apparently pigs are very social. So it was just so interesting because I would come check on the pig and just kind of like look at our new animal. And then there would be like these 2 little pigs that would come through the high grass checking us out and just saying hi. And they didn't really seem to be very concerned that we were there. They were just like, okay, cool. So it was just interesting to kind of see that. And then we finally were trying to figure out a way to get them, because again, when we put new food in that trap, they were like, nah, we already saw this worked out, we're not interested. So they paid no attention to that trap. So then we thought of our chicken tractor, and we kind of used that as a big trap, basically. So we got some, I guess it was cattle panel, is that what it's called?
Cattle panel, yeah.
Cattle panels, so cattle panel fencing, and we used the chicken tractor as sort of like a giant box for them to be in. There's the chicken tractor. And it didn't even occur to either one of us that this was a possibility until like a few days later. So we've been trying to catch them for a couple days, and we're like, wait, we can use that. So anyway, we threw some food in the chicken tractor, and I think the door's just large enough that they weren't able to figure out that it was a trap. And they went in there and they got the food, and then we closed it up, and then we took a piece of the cow panel or whatever, the fencing, and we kind of, what's the word? Careened them,
Just
herded them into the actual pen. So we were glad about that, and we got them in there, and now they seem like happy, and they don't seem to mind that they're all together, so they seem happy about it. But I think they're super cute.
You know what this is, don't you? You never know what corn is.
We're about to feed the pigs corn, and they definitely know what it is, and they're excited.
It's their favorite.
You're taking too long, you're taking too long.
I know, but if I give one of you one of them, then the other, you're all 3 going to fight over one.
This is kind of random, but we actually have a volunteer beehive. These are a different breed of bees than the ones we purchased. And I think they're like an Italian bee. But yes, so we had 3 hives, 1 died. And then these are just sitting in here. This is kind of our extra storage space, whatever. And Then one day we came in here and there's these bees that were doing their thing in a hive box. And they are just a volunteer beehive. There's a guinea fowl. They're cute when they're little. They're not fully grown yet. They're less cute when they get bigger. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. So what I wanted to talk about this week was ways that you can slow down as a mom. And this is really not just for moms. I mean, this is really for anybody. So yes, I wanted to talk about mental self-care. So that meant specifically like, you know, just mental health overall. Now I realize that I want to focus more on mental health for moms. And there's a couple of reasons for that, one of which is I am a mom. Another is that I basically had this experience with my therapist a few years ago. Not really an experience so much as I was talking to my therapist and she said that she would frequently, I can't remember how it came up in the conversation. Again, it was a few years ago, but it's really stayed with me. And so she was talking about how a lot of women, after their kids, you know, go off to school and stuff like that, they really have an identity crisis because they just don't know, you know, who the heck they are. They've basically been giving and giving and giving to their kids. And now they're in a house, you know, with their spouse or maybe alone or whatever, and they just don't even know who they are. They don't even know who they are anymore. And she said she's seen this trend again and again and again. And that really stuck with me. Last year, I wasn't taking my blood pressure medication, and I ended up going to the emergency room. And that was a kind of a pause for me to realize that I needed to prioritize my own self-care because, you know, I mentally, like intellectually, I knew that I was out of this medication and I needed to get some more. But you can know something intellectually but still not pause and give it like the time and the moment. It was also during a really stressful period. We had a lot going on. We were trying to move and we were doing a lot to the house. There was a lot happening, and so it just sort of like, oops, caught up to me, and I wasn't taking blood pressure medication for like a while. So it caught up to me, and it wasn't great, and I had to go to the emergency room, and it was a really unpleasant experience. And so I know that it's easy to neglect yourself. Here are some things that I thought would be helpful for you to take care of yourself or to also help you slow down. So slowing down just means you're like taking a breath. You're not timing yourself. You're not, or if you are timing yourself, you have like a good chunk of time, okay? Like you need to take a minute for yourself, okay? So this is something I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to get better with self-care. I'm trying to learn ways to chill out and relax and stuff like that. And sometimes I'm good at it and sometimes I'm not. One of the things would be a technology shutdown. Now this obviously relates to that concept of being entertained all the time. So a technology shutdown doesn't have to mean you don't use your phone for a day, but it might mean you don't use your phone for like 3 hours or something. It might mean that 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, you do not look at your phone. Like, so for example, in my bedroom, we have a TV, which we watch sometimes, mostly me, because everybody else goes to bed earlier, and I watch stuff or whatever. But what I mean is, like, I'll sit on the bed, I'll watch TV and whatever, and I would mean that I physically would maybe put my phone or my computer like across the room where I do not have easy access to it for a few hours. I would just put it across the room, or I'd put it in a drawer or whatever, but I don't have easy access to it. I can't pick it up, I can't look at it. It's just a shutdown. Like, for that period of time, you do not have it. And that could be something that you do every week. That could be something that you do like one day a week. You could pick and say, okay, guys, we don't look at our phones, you know, once a week. So one of the words that you hear tossed around a lot in the last few years is the word intentional, right? To be intentional. What that means, intentional, in my point of view, and I guess it could mean lots of different things, but it means that you're going to prioritize something, and you're going to say, out of my day, I want to do this. You may not be able to prioritize 5 different things. You can prioritize like 3. And so, you know, like, imagine you're going on vacation and you say, you know what, I want to see this one particular thing today. I want to see this thing. I want to see this particular attraction, volcano, whatever it is. I want to see this thing. And this is non-negotiable. I want to do this. And that's what I mean by intentional. Like, I want you to find ways to give yourself some grace, give yourself some love, and take care of yourself. Take care of this, take care of this, take care of your soul a little bit. You know, it doesn't have to be every minute of every day, obviously, because we can't do that as moms. We have stuff to do, we have places to go. So my mom would say, places to go, people to see. We have all that. But we can take time for ourselves. And I would say that it's probably a good idea to pick like one evening a week or one afternoon a week or whatever, to like make it all have a lot going on. We're all busy most of the time. And it's just good to slow down and take a deep breath and keep in mind that you are worth it. Another thing to do to kind of get you out of your head is work on a painting or a craft that is detailed. And what I mean by that is that you're occupying your mind with a simple task, but something that you can't rush through and you have to sort of focus on and just maybe not necessarily think about anything else but the task that you're working on. And so, you know, that could be a painting, whatever you're doing, or that could be a craft that's really detailed, but something that requires like fine focus. Well, that's another way to kind of slow down, because your brain is going to be focused on that particular activity, and it's not going to be thinking about all the things and all the things you need to get done. Do something that makes you feel like you. And I think most of you probably know what I mean when I say that. Like, I'm a big thrifter, so I love thrifting. There's certain stores that I just get lost in, and my kids know that, oh, Mommy loves this store or whatever. But like, or good conversation with a friend, just like, you know, just talking and chatting and catching up and all that. I love that. Those are things that make me feel like myself. And when I say that, I mean myself as in not a spouse, not a mom, just Sarah. That makes me feel like me. Okay, so another good idea is to make a favorite snack, or pick an episode of a show that you love and just like do that show. Make it fun. Like, look at your DVDs or look at the episode synopsis on Netflix or whatever, and just kind of find like your favorite episode of a show. Like, find an episode of a show that you really enjoy and maybe something that you've already seen, because if you have to look for something that you haven't seen, that could be hours because there's so much stuff. There's so many movies, there's so many TV shows, so maybe I would pick like a comfort food show. That's what I call stuff that I like watch again. So comfort food. So pick something that you really like. I mean, a lot of people like, Friends is their comfort food, or I love Gilmore Girls, and for a lot of people, Gilmore Girls is comfort food, things like that. And make a nice snack. You could just make popcorn, or you can make a fancier snack or whatever, but have that be like your time where, you're watching an episode or 2 episodes or whatever, and hopefully nobody's going to bother you, and you have a little bit of time to yourself. Slow down, take a deep breath, and take care of yourself. It's not hard to neglect ourselves as women, as moms. It is not hard. It is, it comes naturally. It even feels good sometimes to give everything to your kids and then, not pay attention to yourself. That feels good because it feels like you're doing what you should be doing as a parent. And I think that that's fine sometimes, but I think that taking care of yourself is filling up your cup so that you can give more to the people in your life, so that you have more to give to your kids, to your spouse, to your family members, to your friends, like you have more to give. If you fill your cup up, you have more to give people. And if you don't ever do that, if you just kind of keep going and going and going and staying busy, you're going to lose yourself. I really feel like that's going to happen. I think you really have to take care of yourself. The analogy of you put your mask on, plane's going down, you put the mask on first, put your kids' mask on second. You have to take care of yourself because you're the only one that gets to make that call. I don't know. Is there anything else to say about the pig drama? I don't think you're even filling me, and your fingers definitely have that wins, dude.
No, it's not.
My dogs don't really know what to think of them. What do you think of them, Cora? I don't know, man. They're weird.